Welcome back to the 9th Gym program, and today we are continuing the 9th Gym Crown Tundra guides with Thundurus. I don't know why I said 9th Gym again. Anyway, Thundurus is a pretty cool Pokemon. You know, it's I think it's like top 10 in Pikalytics right now. Yeah, it's up there. It's not quite top 10. It's number 14 currently, but still a very, prestigious role in the meta currently. Being a Defiant user is very strong in our meta with Incineroar and Lando-T both being top 10 Pokemon. Very good to have. Electric Flying is an awesome typing. Only having 2 weaknesses, a bunch of resistances, and immunity is pretty good. Solid stats, really good speed, really good special attack and attack. Not the best bulk ever, but it's not the worst bulk ever. And yeah, like I said, Defiant's very good. In a Dynamax format, as well as having, Pokemon like that, the Incineroar and Lando-T, it's a good thing to have. Anyway, Thundurus. Let's look at it. I already talked about its typing. It's very good. Electric Flying hits a lot of things right now, too. Being a fast, strong Max Airstream user is really good. Slap Life Orb on this guy, getting a Defiant boost, and you're just killing everything. I mean, GG to every single Mon, pretty much. Not actually, but it is very, very, very strong. Triple very for emphasis. Anyway, HP 79, Defense 70, Special Defense 80, not super bulky. You could run this thing like, kind of defensively as well. But yeah, it's kind of a thing of the past, since they kind of ripped, Paralyze kind of away. Thunder Wave, they made Thunder Wave a lot weaker with an 85 accuracy. I mean, that was a while ago. I don't know why I'm bringing that up now. But still, yeah, Thundurus is a very different Pokemon than past gens. Now it's kind of just like a Defiant user that attacks, and that's really it. Attack at 115 is very solid for a Defiant user, and then also special attack at 125 lets it really, switch up what role it can run. Usually going to be a Defiant Pokemon in this format. Actually, on Pikalytics, Defiant is like 95%. Everybody's using that, which, for good reason, because it's very strong. Speed at 111, it's a very competent speed tier to be at. It's, faster than a lot of really powerful Pokemon in the format. We have speed tiers, of course, coming up, so, I'll let that speak for itself here in a little, but just know that it is a competent speed tier to be at. Anyway, that is about it for the overview. Let's go ahead and look at the build that I have today. It's very, very standard, actually, like unbelievably standard, but that's for good reason, because it's kind of the best build, or at least, one of the best builds you can run for this Pokemon. Defiant ability, Life Orb item, not really much to change there, not really much to say either. You're kind of just Dynamaxing and doing as much damage as possible, hitting really strong Max Airstreams, giving yourself some speed control, while also being able to set up with terrain, and even Superpower to buff your own and your partner Pokemon's damage is very, very strong. That's a really good thing to have on a Defiant Pokemon, because if your opponent, wants to intimidate anything on your team, they kind of have to choose what's stronger, the Thundurus or the thing that could be intimidated. So it's very, very strong. As far as the moves go, we have Fly, Wild Charge, Superpower, and Protect. Fly and Wild Charge are its only really good physical options for dual stab, and then we have Superpower just, to buff itself for attack, to be Max Knuckle, and it's also very good because our 2 weaknesses are Ice and Rock, and Superpower kind of destroys those, so that's very good. My voice is like going away. So yeah, it's a good set. And then I just ran Protect because Protect's a good move. So yeah, that's the 4 moves that I chose. You can swap it out with some stuff. Lash Out is a really cool move that it gets now. Being able, if you get Defiant, or if you get intimidated, or you get a Defiant boost, you get Lash Out. I mean, I think this is one of the strongest moves that we can see, right now. Like, it's unbelievably strong. Defiant boosted Lash Out. What? Like, you're doing 5,000 damage to everything. It's like a super Dracovish. It's nuts. Other options we have here, U-turn is a good option. Being able to hit and then run, it's pretty good. U-turn has always been good. Iron Tail is a neat option, giving you, max Steel Spike to be able to benefit your defense. Really good for something like, next to, I don't know, Cresselia. That could be cool. But, not going to happen too much. It's fine. I think Iron Tail is a good option, but it's, not going to land on very many teams, and that's fine. And then our last option here for moves is Taunt. I think Taunt's good. Currently in our meta, we have a lot of Trick Room stuff going around and a lot of things that are good to get taunted. There's screens. We got a lot of things that you hit Taunt on, and it's very good. So Taunt is good. Some other options here for items. You could go Lumberry if you don't want to get burned, which I don't blame you. Getting burned with this guy would suck, so Lumberry's good. And then Assault Vest, because you don't really care to run Protect too much. Like, you're going to Dynamax, so a lot of the time, Protect isn't even going to be used. So Assault Vest is pretty solid. If you're going to go for 4 moves anyway, it's very solid. I do like the 30% additional damage from Life Orb, but Assault Vest is a good option. As far as the spread goes for it, it's very similar. Very simple. 252 into attack, 252 into speed, and then the leftover 4 into HP. As far as the nature goes, I want Jolly just so we can be as fast as possible, losing special attack because we're not using special attack anyway. It's very good. I think, it's a very solid set. It's very generic, and it's kind of what you would expect on a Thundurus. So, pretty good stuff. Or, on a new age Thundurus, on a current Thundurus. As far as the synergetic Pokemon I have here, first off, I have Kartana. Kartana is pretty good. It can definitely cover both its rock and ice weaknesses with Max Steel Spike looking pretty good there. It also doesn't want to be intimidated, so, that plus Thundurus, your opponent has to choose, should I intimidate here and make Thundurus insanely strong and make Kartana a little bit weaker, or just let the Kartana go unscathed, and usually, Kartana just doesn't get intimidated, because Thundurus is really scary when it gets intimidated. Also, other Pokemon that are similar to that reason, things like Urshifu, Thundurus can, cover some of its weaknesses, being able to destroy those flying type Pokemon, but doesn't really have anything on Fairy unless you add Iron Tail. That could be an interesting, kind of thing that you could do. Go Thundurus with Iron Tail for Max Steel Spike to cover your Fairy weakness. There are ideas there. But yeah, Thundurus and a physical attacker is a very solid lead. Your opponent can't really just throw out and intimidate and just like be, really dumb with it the entire game and just throw out intimidate every turn. So it's pretty good. Your opponent has to like think a little bit more, which is cool. Anyway, that is it for the guide. Let's go ahead or for the, the set. Let's go ahead and talk about some speed tiers. So, like I said, it's a very solid speed tier to be at, 179. Outspeeding a lot of these, 150 to 170 Pokemon that we have that are new to the game, of course, to Crown Tundra. A lot of things. Kartana, Ninetales Alola, Terrakion, Nihilego, Garchomp, Lando-T. We have things like Excadrill, Duraludon. Nobody's using Duraludon. There's a lot of Pokemon in that like 150 to 180 range that Thundurus is now outspeeding, which is really good. And obviously, a lot of other Pokemon under 150, but there's just like, a very big population of 150 to 170 that Thundurus luckily outspeeds, which is cool. Things that Thundurus is still outsped by. There are still some, obviously. We have Cinderace, we have Dracovish at Scarf, we have Dragapult, Regieleki, Excadrill, Weather Boosted. Really, all the Weather Boosted guys, if people are still playing Rain Kingdra, Raindra, if you will. Like Venusaur, stuff like that. A lot of stuff still can outspeed Thundurus. Choice Scarf Pokemon, Tailwind boosted guys. There's a lot of stuff, but usually like raw, Thundurus is outspeeding a lot of good things, which is very strong. That's about it for speed tiers. Let's go ahead and talk about some Dynamaxed. I don't know why I said Dynamax. Damage calcs. It starts with a D. That's why. Anyway, some damage calcs. So, Dynamaxed Thundurus Life Orb at Life Orb. Max Lightning into a Tapu Fini. This is currently the most used spread on Pikalytics, 236 HP for defense. I would typically go more into defense, so this is a little weird, but it does leave a lot of room for error, or not for error, a lot of room for, if your opponent does invest more into defense, into physical defense, because we are hitting 135 to 160%, which is a very big amount of damage. Guaranteed Oko onto a Tapu Fini that does not Dynamax. Even if it does Dynamax, it's not really doing any damage to the Thundurus, so you're not really worried there, unless their partner is like something crazy, Choice Scarf Mamoswine or something wild, right? But yeah, you do a lot of damage to Tapu Fini, so that's not really a problem. Next we have Thundurus Max Airstream into an Urshifu single strike 4 HP. You're demolishing it, 150% to 178. They're not usually Dynamaxing, but it is usually, focus sashed. So definitely, be careful of that. But once again, it doesn't really threaten it too much. It doesn't really have any, super effective spread. It kind of just does a bunch of damage. It just does Urshifu things. Next, we have 2 more offensive calcs and then some defensive calcs. So both of these are into Galarian Moltres, as you can see. The first one is raw, just straight Life Orb, Thundurus, Max Lightning into the current most used spread on Pikalytics, 212 HP and 4 defense. once again, I would be using more defense. So I think it's kind of weird. But if they don't Dynamax, which they usually will, but if they don't, you're hitting 150 and 178, which is a guaranteed OHKO. And if they do Dynamax, you're still hitting a lot of damage at 75 to 80%, or 75 to more percent, a little bit more than that. A lot of damage is what I'm saying, even if they Dynamax, which is very, very strong. You are activating Berserk and Weakness Policy, so it is going to return OHKO you, but still something to note. Especially if you have that plus another fast Pokemon, or another Pokemon that's like pretty fast, and just kill it before it can attack you back. It's a dead Moltres. It's pretty good. I said attack you back like really weird. Anyway, so Thundurus, Max Lightning. So this second one is how to OHKO the Dynamaxed Galar Moltres, because like I said, we didn't have it. If you're intimidated, you'll go -1, but then Defiant will give you +2, ending on +1. Attack, Life Orb, Thundurus, Max Lightning. Into the Dynamaxed Burb, we are killing it with 111 to 132%, which is guaranteed OHKO. A lot of damage, good stuff. Like to kill that Burb. Goodbye. Next, we have the two defensive calcs here of the of the video of this portion. The first one is Lando-T Max Rockfall at 252 plus. So this is even an adamant nature. They're usually not going to be adamant, but it's still something I wanted to note. Lando-T Max Rockfall into the 4 HP Dynamax to Thundurus. Hits 76 to 89%, which is a lot of damage, but guaranteed live it with a guaranteed 2-hit KO. Very good stuff. Next, we have Metagross Max Hailstorm into the Dynamax Thundurus, hitting 65 to 77, which is guaranteed 2-hit KO. A lot of damage once again, but not a kill, which is very good. And of course, that's without weakness policy, so it'll still do a lot of damage, but yeah. If it's weakness policy, proc it kills, but you're faster than Metagross, so, they have to pick Tailwind or Self-Proc, in which case you can get out of there or get into a better position. I don't know. He's not going to kill you right off the bat, though, usually. Not a bad matchup. It's not a great matchup, though. Anyway, that is it for damage calcs. Let's talk about single spotlight real quick before I end the video. And I just realized I didn't add the guy. Whoops. Let's add the guy real quick. Oh, there we go. There's the guy. Anyway, so Thundurus, single spotlight. He's pretty good in singles. Definitely a different Pokemon, though. Not being able to rely on Defiant to make it more useful of a Pokemon. So we just went for Prankster. I still went for Life Orb for max damage, and then I went for a Nasty Plot as well. Thunderbolt, Sludge Bomb, and Grass Knot for coverage. Thunderbolt for stab. You don't have Air Slash, which is really unfortunate. So I just went Thunderbolt and then 2 random moves that can do good damage. It's pretty good. Anyway, that's about it. That's pretty much it. Also, Grass Knot hits your rock weakness, which is cool. As far as the spread as well, I went 252 into speed and special attack, left over 4 into special defense, and timid nature just to be as fast as possible. You could also go like heavy duty boots here for an item because you don't need the Life Orb too much, especially with Nasty Plot. So yeah, some options. Anyway, that is about it for the video. Thank you so much for watching. If you did watch it and enjoy, leave a like, comment, subscribe. It really means a lot to me. There's only like 35% of the people that watch these videos that are subscribed, so you should subscribe. It's free, it's easy to do, and I really appreciate it. It helps me so much, you have no idea. Yeah, that's really it. Thanks for watching. Follow me on the socials, join the Patreon, join the Discord, watch me live on Twitch. All those links will be down in the description below if you care to do that. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great week. How many times did I say thanks so much for watching there? Anyway, have a great week. Goodbye.